Hey, well, here I am, live again, or at least some semblance of being alive. Um, Kind of a crazy week politically. I mean, you have Cruz committing political suicide. You have Trump's own Supreme Court uh, letting his taxes become go to court. I don't know how public they'll become, but allowing his tax returns to go to the prosecutors that want them. It's kind of cool, I think. I don't know how much you learn from that. I really don't. I don't know if you can ascertain a criminal offense from looking at his tax returns. Maybe if you have something specific in mind, you might be able to clarify something, or you might be able to nail him on something. I don't know. The taxes are probably the most complicated. One of the most. It's like I shouldn't say the most complicated. It's like everything else in the government. It's complicated. They don't make it easy for you and me to understand it. At least not when you have a lot of money and you're doing businesses and everything else. It's really not that easy. When I was in business back in the U.S., I had to hire an accountant. And they're not cheap. You know, they don't work cheap because of all the laws they have to know. It's all the stuff they have to know, and I don't. I'm not that smart. What else is going on? I don't know. You can see some stuff in my room. I can't really move it around. I have a camera that I can move around, but unfortunately, I think I told you last time the voice doesn't sync up right when I do YouTube. So if what you can do is you can go back and look at the Antonio and Fats. I have 62 of those videos up. I put up one or two a week anyhow, and I still will do that. I have also, I think I mentioned last time, I have a written blog, Flounder's Great Adventure. It's just a lot of political ranting, and I'm getting to the point where I'm going to be glad to go back to doing what I was doing, writing goofy stuff originally, writing about my day, writing about what's going on down here, things to see, stuff to do, get away from politics if I can, but you've got this. What do you call him? I don't know. Hiding out in the shadows right now. He's got Lara Trump. Lara Trump. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Lara, Lara, right? Says that he's going to run in 2024. I'm really not overly concerned with that, based upon what I've seen of him in recent in recent months. That I think believe his mental deterioration is such that he won't be able to run so long as Biden doesn't do something absolutely stupid, or the Democrats do something absolutely stupid that would give him something to use against them. I would love to show you Antonia, but as I said, she's very shy, stubborn, and pig-headed. And she's out sleeping in the doorway. And if I had the other camera, I could just pick it up and go over and show it to you, show her, point it at her and show you. But no, she's around. She's usually behind me, or next to me on the floor when I'm doing this stuff. She kind of likes that. Um, I think I've showed you stuff I've done. Now, this is the latest biography I've done. This piece right here. You know, I do one or two a day sometimes. They're very simple. For me, now that I've done enough of them, they're simple. Uh, Talking to trying to come up with something interesting to talk about. It's funny when I'm not dealing with a live audience where hopefully there'll be a few people. There's one right now. I guess I'm not that popular a guy. It's It's different when I'm there in person and they can throw things at me. Here they got to throw things at the computer, and it's expensive. Um, so what else is going on? We don't have any elections down here. We're working on the vaccine. We have three down here. They brought in the Chinese vaccine, which I'm not really interested in. I mean, there's a lot of foreign vaccines other than Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Moderna, I think it's called, which is one I would like to be able to get one of them. I'm in what they call a second group. My wife and I. Hopefully that means sometimes based upon the amounts that they're bringing in, sometime in maybe March, but probably April, I'll get the vaccine, which is cool. I'm waiting to see some serious spikes in cases because uh, some of these vaccines aren't that effective against the variants, and what will happen is that the mask mandates will fall apart and everything, and people. You saw it today. We went shopping, and although the mall was fairly empty, the took the train back, and people didn't do any social distancing or anything on the train. So I try to avoid the train. I try to avoid getting sick. Uh, I told you. I think I mentioned that I've had three people in this building die of COVID. Most of them are in my age bracket. As far as I know, they're all in my age bracket or younger. Mostly, I think they're younger. I think I'm one of the oldest people who lives here. Um, there's one of my younger friends got it and got better, but apparently he had this mild version of it, and he keeps getting sick, and he's had all these effects keep coming back and everything. I said, I almost think it's better to get the serious COVID and get it out of the way. If you survive it. I personally don't want either one of them. I've had some intense diseases. I think the most intensive disease I had was in America when I was working in a school. I caught it from the kids. It's called a novovirus, and it's an intestinal bug, and I mean, everything comes out of you in every orifice you have. And the thing is, your temperature spikes, and you're at 103 and a half, and you're like saying, "I'm going to the hospital," and then all of a sudden, it goes back down. It's like a 24-hour gig, not fun at all. Um, let's see, we have our own political problems down here. I mean, but people down here expect it. They expect to see corruption in government. It's sort of like being in a small town in Georgia, with the mayor, and you want to have a project done. You got to grease some palms. It's just the price of doing business. Well, that's the way people take it down here. The only problem is all these people are connected to either not even the rebel forces are connected to the drug dealers. I don't care how rich you are or whatever you are, you're connected to the drug dealers. You're either laundering money for them, which is what family does, or you're like Carlos Slim's family that runs all the media down here. He owns all the cell towers in Central and South America. And in Colombia it's called Claro. I don't know what it is in other countries, but he's. I heard he was so wanted one time that he had to sit on his yacht and couldn't come ashore. Um, but that's South America is similar but not similar. We tend to be more primitive in our dealings. We tend to be more violent down here, whereas in America it's more subtle. They just screw you. Um, that's what Mr. Trump did. He was like the mafia. He goes into companies and sucks them dry and then bankrupts them. But, I don't know. I really would like to get away from this. I don't go fishing. I used to do a lot of fishing. God, I used to be out 3 or 4 times a week because I had a reservoir right behind my house that before 9/11 I could go just jump the fence and go fishing. But I had access to 3 or 4 lakes when I lived there. Nobody wants to go. I don't have a car. It's one of my mistakes. I didn't get a driver's license down here. I'd probably be dead now. These people are lunatics when it comes to driving. You cannot be a safe driver down here. You have to be a defensive driver, and you have to pray a lot. It's people are crazy. They just don't. It's like they don't care. It's like they're not a death wish. It's just they don't care. That's I think that's why these people are so happy down here. They say Colombians are very happy people. I think it's just because they don't care about things. You know. Um, I next time I'm back here next Monday, I want to give you my opinions on the two-party system that we have in America and why I don't think it's effective. But that'll be next week. Like I said, you can leave comments on my blog. You can go to my blog, floundersgreatadventure.com. It's on WordPress. You can go to my Facebook page, Jeffrey Bruff. You can go to YouTube here, and you can leave comments. I think they have a comment section for the live videos, but you can go to one of my other videos and just, my latest video, which is the highest number that's there right now, it's 62. You go there and you can go to the comment section and you can leave comments and we'll talk about it next time. And if you're around, you can talk to me now. I'm not sure how you go about doing that. I will discover that I meant to discover it the last week and I didn't have time. But I will discover it before we meet again. And, these might pop up at other times, but you can definitely right now count on me being here on Mondays at 7 p.m. I'll be here for 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know, until I run out of breath, till some television program comes on I want to watch. Oh yeah, in case you're interested, we have a lot of English TV, a lot of programs in English now here. Most of them, one of the things I think is ridiculous is that the big show down here is Friends. Friends has been off the air for something like 10, 12 years now. It's on a minimum of 6 times a day down here. They just got Seinfeld back, which is good because I haven't seen all the Seinfelds. Criminal Minds is still on. We have one channel that's CSI Miami, CSI, CSI Las Vegas, CSI New York. That's it. And The Mentalist, The Mentalist is on about 5 times a day too on this one channel. The Chicago Med, Chicago Fire. We get FBI Most Wanted. We get SWAT. We get some new shows or current shows. NCIS is current. We get that currently, and I don't know how current we are in NCIS Los Angeles or NCIS New Orleans, but I think NCIS New Orleans we're very current on too, like a couple weeks behind it or something like that. I just noticed I'm moving slow on the video. Huh. I don't know. It's probably a problem because they're geared to deal with Microsoft, and as I told you before, I don't use Microsoft products. I don't own any Microsoft products, at least none that I'm aware of. I shouldn't say that. I do have my laptop has Microsoft Windows 10 on it only because I needed to use my what I call my Magic Jack. It's a VoIP thing, voice over internet protocol that I use to call America, and mostly the companies, because I use WhatsApp if I'm calling my friends. But if I'm calling a company, I have to use that, to call them with banks, mostly banks and insurance companies that I deal with up there. What else is going on? Oh, we might have to move, which is just disappointing me tremendously. I spoke to the owner of the building, of the apartment, and he doesn't want it. He wants me to buy it, and I'd be willing to buy it. I can afford the mortgage. I can scrape together the down payment and everything else. The problem is I can't get a mortgage. I'm too old. I probably have the same problem in the United States. I'm 75 years old, and I'm the one with the income. Um, well, I don't think I'd want a 20-year mortgage on this building. I mean, the way I'm looking around here, buildings don't last. There's a lot of erosion in the area. There's a lot of overdevelopment in the area. So, I mean, if I got it, I'd want to flip it, and I don't know if with the mortgage and everything I'd have to pay, whether I'd be able to flip it right. And that would require me to put some money into a bank down here, which is just ridiculous. I mean, they charge you so much money to get your money out of here, out of your bank down here. It's ridiculous. You get something like three withdrawals with a debit card, and then they start charging you a lot of money. And a friend of mine bought a house down here. He lives down here. He's a citizen here. He bought a house down here, an apartment. That's how they do it. They buy apartments. Uh, and he complained so much about how much money the bank charged him. I mean, it's ridiculous. You have to be a millionaire to be able to deal with these people. And it's all the banks are owned by this one corporation, basically, or one man. He started. I can't remember the guy's name now, but he owns a bank in America. He owns banks all over the world. He launders money for people, and he bought out the HSBC Bank when it was down here. He bought out Bank America when it was down here. Bought their assets. He started Bank of Colombia. So he's a young guy, but he's not very honest. um, like I said, I want to try and stay away from doing a whole show about Trump because it gets boring, it's redundant, and I hate the guy. I've hated the guy all my life. I shouldn't say that. I admired him at one time when I read The Art of the Deal and everything, and I understood that, and that was pretty smart. And I realized it wasn't his idea. And then I realized what he was doing and how he was treating people, and it became something I didn't want to deal with anymore. Um, so we'll try to avoid talking about him. There is I guess everybody I told I was going to be on the air tonight didn't show up, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay here. The room I'm in has the building actually has this problem. It's a steel reinforced concrete situation with no insulation in it. So what happens is that during the day, these walls heat up. You can't see, not the one behind me, but the one to my left and the one right behind the computer will heat up. And then at night, when the rest of the world is cool, they start letting the heat off into the apartment. And I'm sitting in here now with the light on up above me and my computer going, and it's getting hot, really hot in here. So I don't like extreme temperatures anymore. The heat doesn't really bother me, never has. But you know, I want to get back one last time to the United States, see some people. Nobody my age. They're all younger than me. Some of them are a lot younger. Some of them are almost 30 years younger than I am. And I call them friends. But I want to get back and see them. Say hello. Get some good food, from my friends that own restaurants and whatnot. Get a nice, real American hamburger. Although I can get hamburgers. There's a million hamburger places down here. Now, American hamburgers are the restaurant now. The restaurant fad. That and sushi, which is just I wouldn't eat sushi Where I live, I wouldn't eat sushi. No, you just couldn't. If I liked it, um, we're several hundred miles away from the ocean. I've watched how they treat fish in the supermarkets and whatnot, and there's no way. Not just no way. I mean, if I could eat fish, I wouldn't eat fish down here. Fortunately, I'm allergic to it, so I don't have to worry about that. Um, this is a this is an interesting experiment. I don't know what you want. What would be a typical topic for discussion here? You just want to hear me rant and rave about things, or do you have a specific question? Like, if you want to know something about the country, I can help you there. I do a lot of research, so if you have a question that needs a little research, I'd be happy to try and do it for you, just as long as it doesn't cost money, because I'm not spending money to do, anything if I could avoid it. Um, those of you that want to retire, I mean, you have to come down here. And you say, I want to retire. I want to live in South America. Well, you can live in Panama. Panama uses the dollar. You don't have to worry about the exchange rate. Ecuador uses the dollar. You don't have to worry about the exchange rate. They're fairly safe countries. As long as you stay away from the Ecuadorian border, it's a very, very dangerous area. Um, Colombia is all right. You have to treat it like a bad area. You don't go out after 10 o'clock at night unless you're in a secure vehicle and you know where you're going, and you drive fast. They use motorcycles to rob cars down here, so it's a little dangerous. A lot of these guys get away with it. I mean, I've seen videos of these guys robbing cars on the backs of motorcycles, and all the guy's got to do is slam the car door into him as he's starting to drive away, and the guy's dead. The guy will crash the motorcycle, and you don't worry about it, and you run him over. Uh, it's a funny thing about that down here. They have incidences of vigilante justice where they catch the guy doing something, and they get him and they beat the crap out of him. The problem when they do that, though, the guy doesn't go to jail. That's it. They might as well just keep beating him because he's going to get up and he doesn't go to jail. He doesn't get any punishment. He doesn't get any. In a lot of cases, they don't even arrest him when they do that. So that's not that great a deal. Um, let's see. I'm running out of things to say. Sitting around and I don't sit around all week and think of some sort of program I'm going to do. Except, like I said, next week I'll start it off anyhow, talking about my disagreements with the two-party system. Um, that should piss off several of my friends. Nothing new there. I'm pretty good at doing that. That's why I don't have a lot of friends. You know. Um, one of the things that they like to do down here is my family and friends. They go to these what they call farms, and they are in some cases they are a farm, and you pay if you're going and if you're renting it, you're paying a substantial bit of change, at least in Colombian terms for the weekend or whatever. And you go there and you've got mattresses that are older than you. Clean, but they're older than you. They're not comfortable. You have parties going on all weekend long, which means there's noise, so you don't sleep real well. And there's nothing to do because you're isolated. You can't. In a lot of cases, these places don't have TV, so you're completely isolated. You either sit around and play poker or Uno or some other card game or chess, or you just read. And for me to spend money to go someplace else that's uncomfortable to read doesn't make any sense. So I let my wife go. She goes visits her friends. Her friends have a farm, and I did tell her to look around for a piece of property for us, that might rent, but I don't know. I'm old now. I want to go fishing, but nobody wants to take me fishing. Nobody ever wanted to take me fishing, and I don't drive, which I said wasn't a mistake. That was a choice. Uh, Live or die. I think the way that people drive down here. Um, any of you want to come and visit, let me know. Uh, you know, it's nice. It's not expensive. I mean, that's the thing. I live on. You have to understand that I spend less than $1,400 a month on living expenses. That's my rent. I have a three-bedroom apartment with a balcony. I live on the 10th floor. I pay about um, let's see, it's about $300 or $400, less than $400 a month rent. It's around $300. No, it's less than this. It's about 200 and some odd dollars a month rent. My health insurance is about 30, close to about maybe $40 a month, if that. That includes all my prescription drugs and visits to the doctor and specialists and everything. If I have to see a specialist, it's relatively it's very, very inexpensive to live down here. You can get great food, and when I'm saying great food, to cook yourself. You can get American products, some of them, not all of them. I buy from Amazon, and so long as you spend $35, you don't pay delivery charges, and that's cheap, So I buy a lot of stuff from there. There are a lot of companies down here. I mean, there's dozens of McDonald's, Burger King's, Domino's Pizza, a lot of companies, the Subway, they're very popular down. The Subway and Domino's are very popular down here. Um, they're good places. We have other places we like to eat in a Japanese style restaurant called Sakaro. We eat in a place called Waffles and Crepes where we were today. Like I had crepes with what they call Mexican chicken and very hot and spicy, very, very good. Cheap. I mean, you go out to dinner, you go to a steak restaurant and have four people sit down and filet mignon. It's going to cost you $40. You go to you go to a restaurant in America and order four fillets, and you better have American Express Black Card with you. I mean, it's going to cost you a fortune. It's very expensive. And the quality of the food is good in the restaurants and everything. So it's a nice. It's a good place, but you more or less have to be in a partying mood because if you're not in a partying mood, this isn't that exciting. I mean, you have television, you have books you can read, there's things you can do, but as after you, like some of the things I want to see, I can't see. They're too far away, or they're not safe enough. I have to walk. Like there's one place I want to go to. I can't. I'm not going to say it's the way the rocks change colors and everything. I forget the name of the actual name of the place, but to go there, it's I have to walk somewhere. It's like 3 miles, and I can't really over rough terrain, and I really can't do that. The last tremendous amount of walking I did was on Escobar's plantation down in what the hell is the name of that town? I can't remember the name of the town. Anyhow, that was his zoo and everything was there, and we went and saw the rhinos, and the rhino died since then. But the animals seemed to be well cared for and everything. It was pretty sharp place, but it's a lot of walking, and let me tell you something. I lost a lot of weight. And water's expensive. So they charge you a lot for the water, but and we walked, and the hotel we stayed at was fantastic. But there's a lot of things to do. But the point I'm saying is that even if you spread them out, you're going to be done in a year. So there's not, unless you want to go back to some places or something like that. I think. I go to these park. I mean, like the park across the street from me. I have iguanas. I have strange birds, red fox squirrels, every kind of butterfly you can possibly imagine. I don't have to go to the botanical gardens to see butterflies. They're all across the street, all hatching at different times. It's spectacular. It's wonderful. So long as they don't try to build anything there, which they will probably. Um, anyhow, that's a half an hour. That's enough for me. I'm going to end this because I'm running out of things, and my mouth is getting dry because I'm talking too much. Anyhow, see you next Monday. Take care, everybody.